Hi there, my name's Greenie. I'm a freelance drummer and I've just finished a tour with a band called VANT. Natal have asked me to do a little run through of my drum kit, what kind of kit I use, what sizes and why, so I'd like to take you through that. So first of all, the kit I use is an original series. It is a Champagne Sparkle piano split lacquer kit. It is all maple, 7-ply maple shells and brushed nickel fittings. So a bit about this kit. I do have a few different Natal kits. This is the bigger size one, mainly for the VANT gig, which was quite heavy punk garagey rock. Worked really well. They're very, very warm sounding kits, and even though they're big sizes, they cut through a lot. They have a lot of attack, and they're built like tanks. I mean, you only need to take a look at the bass drum legs to see how solid they are. So I'll go through all the drums individually. First of all, the snare drum, which is a 14x8, obviously maple. The thing I really like about this snare is it's very versatile. You can really crank the top head to get a sort of piccolo effect, but because of the depth of the shell, you've still got a lot of body, so you can really experiment with this. It's really cool, and it's been used or chosen over several other snares a few times in the studio by producers. And on our latest VANT EP, Talk Like Thunder, the producer preferred this snare and I used it on all 6 tracks, so yeah, it's quite a special piece of kit. And as a spare, I have this, again 14x8 because I like big snares. This is a Meter Series brass snare, and again this is a complete beast. I tend to use this a lot more on sort of outdoor festivals and bigger gigs, like bigger halls, like Academy One sort of thing. Yeah, and what I tend to do, sometimes I'll have this live off to the side here, so I've got the option to tune for certain songs or certain just little middle eights or whatever if I want a different pitch or tone, and I have to tend to have this tuned high and then I'll have this tuned really low to get that really sort of low crunch, kind of like a bit of a Phil Rudd AC/DC feel to it. So yeah, so between the two and with the brass and the maple, you can get some really cool different sounds. Yeah, so that's the snares. Tom wise, this is a 13x11 rock tom. Again, deep drums, deep shells. The thing I really like about this drum is if you have the bottom head quite well tuned quite low, you can get obviously a short decay, but if you really crank the bottom head with the body, you get a lot of weight and a lot of boom, so you get a really nice full sound. So it's good to have that option with that. Again, a very warm drum, cuts through nicely. So the floor tom, again, it's a big drum, it's 18x16, and I like this drum because it's got a really low kind of subwoofer sound to it. It's really good with mallets. You can do this kind of crescendo sounds, quite an orchestral drum if you mess around with it in that way and don't have it dampened much. And I have it tuned when I play just live for gigs or studio or whatever, just above the threshold, so if it was tuned any lower, just be starting flat and you'd get like the ripples in the head and stuff like that. And again, if you crank the bottom head, you get a really, really full sort of warm tone. I really love this drum when you kind of do accents on the snare and the floor tom at the same time. You get that big sound. It sounds great, yeah, brilliant drum. And again, like all the other drums, it cuts through. Sometimes I can mess about with dampening it here and there to get nice sort of tones and stuff, but yeah, another great drum. And finally the bass drum, this is a 24x20 inch. And what I really love about this drum is if you cushion it the right way inside, you can get a good mixture between that sort of low, big Bonham sound, but then you can kind of get a really good attack with it. You can kind of get the top end if you put the cushion in the right way, and that's really important to me for big gigs, outdoor festivals, and big hall gigs, again like Academy 1 gigs, just to cut through. So yeah, it's quite an impressive drum for that, to get both sort of the bottom low and the top end attack. So yeah, it's cracking. I've got other Natal kits as well. I've got a walnut set, which is more standard sizes, 12 rack, 16 floor, a 22 kick, and I've also got a 20 Natal kick, just depending on what sessions or what gigs I have. The thing that I really like about the walnut kit is the fact that it's got a really tight, close sound, so that's pretty good. Like, I did a pop session a few months ago and it was perfect for that, to just get really, really tight, clean sound. But this has been my main kit with VANT for 2 years. It's been perfect for that. I've used it occasionally in different sessions, and it's come in handy. And I've got a couple of different snares. I've got a 14 by 6.5 maple snare. I've got, I think it's a 14 by 8 Arcadia red transparent acrylic snare. So they all come in handy for different things, and yeah, depending on what gig I've got and what studio session. So yeah, that's my gear. Again, this kit is great. It's very warm, it's very versatile, it cuts through. It's got the bottom low end, big drums, power tom sounds, but it's got a lot of attack and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thank you to Natal for letting me do the video, and see you soon.